Yo, what's up guys, it's ApTreX here. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the brand new update of the RPCSX PS3 emulator for Android devices. Finally, the development of RPCSX has continued once again. So this official open source PS3 emulator is back from the dead. On its official GitHub, if you just go ahead and go to Actions tab, then you guys can see the developer has released few main builds for the RPCSX UI Androids. About a week ago, the RPCSX build latest version was released in the Actions tab, and if you want to try it out, you'll need to be signed into GitHub. Anyways, I have already added it on my Android device, so let's test it out. When you open the RPCSX Emulator, it will say update available, so you'll need to update it to the latest October 11 build of RPCSX. So simply tap on the update button and RPCSX will automatically update all the internal assets which are required to run this PS3 emulator. Once that's done, simply tap on the OK button and you will get a brand new update. Once again, it is for the UI, but you can ignore it because you have added the brand new version of RPCSX UI from the official GitHub. To set up RPCSX PS3 emulator on our Android device, we'll need to add our PS3 firmware. Once you select the PS3 firmware that you have imported on your Android device, by the way, Sony officially provides you with the PS3 firmware. You guys can see it is the version 4.92. You'll need to wait for few minutes until the firmware has been initialized. This step will take few minutes on low-end Android devices, so just be patient. Once the firmware has been successfully added, you guys can see it right here, firmware 4.92. Now what we have to do is add our PS3 games inside the RPCSX emulator. For that, simply tap on the plus button. Afterwards, if you have an ISO game format, then you will need to choose the first option, and if you have direct game folders instead, then you will need to choose the second option to select the directory where you have dumped your PS3 games that you own legally. Anyways, I'll be importing Grand Theft Auto 5 as that's the game which I'll be testing out in today's video. Once you add any game inside the RPCSX emulator, it will take some time to load it. Now this loading depends device to device. If you have a low-end Android device, then this loading will take forever, but if you have an high-end Android device, it should be done pretty soon. The device that I'll be using in today's video is the Samsung S25 Ultra with the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. With that out of the way, let's start applying the best settings while the game is being loaded. Just copy the settings which I have already set. So in terms of core, set the PPU threads to 8. If you face crashing issues, you can set it back to 2. Once that's done, go to video settings, resolution, select it as 720 by 480p. MSAA, make sure to disable this option. Shader precision should be low. Enable write color buffers and read color buffers if you are facing graphical issues in any game that you try, but GTA 5 doesn't face graphical issues, major that is, so we'll keep it disabled. Enable stretch to display area. Afterwards, scroll down until you find the resolution scaling option. Here make sure to enter the value as 50 because it's just not possible to run PS3 games on Android at full resolution for now, even if you have flagship device. Once that has been done, you'll need to scroll down. You can keep all the settings like this. Go to performance overlay, make sure to enable video/performance overlay, enable frame rate graph, and you can increase the font size. Now this will basically tell you how much FPS are you getting while emulating your PS3 games. Once that has been done, you have successfully applied the best settings, but wait, we are not done yet. We can still add the custom GPU driver which will provide you with better graphics and performance. So simply tap on the plus button, tap on the first option and add the Mesa Turnip driver 25.3.0 revision 11 or whatever is newest at the time when you try it out. So this graphics driver only works with Snapdragon processors that are Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or below, like 8 Gen 2, 8 Gen 1, Snapdragon 695, 4 Gen 1, etc. Unfortunately, this won't work with my device as Snapdragon 8 Elite does not have turnip support. I will be skipping the GPU driver section. You guys can see only this much progress has been made, so I'll be back once my RPCSX emulator is good to go. Now that the game has been loaded, simply tap on the game icon. Afterwards, you will see it says analyzing and loading PPU models. Now this is a process which takes some time because you can't really skip it. It will compile PPU models and then shader cache. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes if you have a good high-end Android device, but on low-end Android devices it might take even more time depending on your device. But for minimum requirements, you need at least Android version 13 or above for I guess RPCSX emulator. Along with that, 6 GB of RAM. If you have a Mali GPU Android device, preferably Dimensity 7000 processor or above, and for Snapdragon it should be 888 processor or above. Once the PPU models are compiled, it will say building SPU cache, and this process generally takes only few seconds. And there we go guys, that's about it. We have successfully set up RPCSX emulator, applied the best settings, and now we are going to play our first ever PS3 game inside this emulator. I have tested out GTA 5 multiple times previously, but here it says the PS3 application has crashed. You can close it. So let me just go ahead and try reopening the game. Unfortunately guys, no matter what I tried, the PS3 application was crashing. Now it's because I am using a different different version of GTA 5 than what I normally use. So I'll be testing out GTA 5 next time in my video, so make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification. Instead, for today's video, we'll be testing out God of War 3 demo. For God of War 3, we'll need to enable write color buffers as well as read color buffers. And here we go, our game is about to start. At the top left corner, you will be able to see how much FPS are we getting while emulating this game. Sony Computer Entertainment presents. Let's actually talk about what's new in this RPCSX Emulator. So more optimization, new features in terms of UI, etc. and basically better performance than before. With that out of the way, as you guys can see, God of War 3 demo has successfully booted. We are getting about 20 to 25 FPS in the loading screen, but I am pretty sure that the FPS will drop down, as well as there will be stuttering issues because it is compiling shaders. Once all the shaders are compiled, there won't be any lagging. But here we go, you guys can see our God of War 3 has successfully started and we are getting straight up 30 FPS to 60 FPS while emulating this PS3 game on our Android device. But that was just the beginning cutscene. The real fun begins from here. So I am actually surprised, guys. This is where I used to get very low FPS while emulating God of War 3 previously inside the RPCSX Emulator. I precisely remember getting about 7 to 10 FPS even on a Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. But now I can certainly see some performance improvements, but unfortunately the game has frozen. So the freezing issues are still there, but the performance has definitely improved. I'll be uploading the full God of War 3 gameplay test on the RPCSX Emulator pretty soon. So smash that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification. That's going to be it for today. Goodbye.